Hi guys, can you all hear me? Am I audible enough? Hello, can you hear me? Too loud? Is it? No, no. No, okay, too loud. Okay, okay. Can you hear me? Right. So, wait a minute. Can I see the video also? Audio and the video both okay? All good? Yes. Okay. Walaikum salam. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. So then, hi. Very good evening, then. Good evening. Hi. Good evening. Hi. 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 How are you all? Good. Doing good. How is life going? Good. Okay, good. Got it. So guys, so today we have to start a new chapter, okay, which is gonna be your unit number 2. So just drop me a message. Those who didn't do unit number 1, you're just joining for unit number 2. That means simply if you're after results means just drop me a message saying hi. That means you didn't join unit 1, you are directly joining for unit 2. That means you didn't study unit 1. If you are a new student, hi, hi, hi. Just share me a message. Hi, Kill. Okay. So fine. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, all good. So guys, the thing is, okay, don't worry. Okay, so some of you all may think, so do you all feel scared? Sir, I didn't study unit number 1. So, sir, won't it be difficult for me to catch up unit number 2, Kela? Don't have anything like that? No? 100% confident. Nothing, no, nothing like that. I shape yeah. Okay. Okay, so guys, to be honest, this is not to make you all, I mean, give you ISO butter. To be honest, chapter number 2 doesn't need chapter number 1. It's not connected at all. Okay, it's two different chapters. So mostly in business studies, guys, chapters are not connected to each other. So only chapters which is connected is unit number 7 and unit number 15. Okay, those two chapters only goes with the connection, but the other chapters are independent, like economics. Economics also same, right? But in accounting, it's not like that. But BSK, you don't need to worry about that. So unit number 2, we start freshly. So unit number 1, you can cover with the Tuesday classes, no issues in that. So I hope everyone has tute. Anyone who doesn't have the tute, I shared in the group also, as well as I shared in the chat box as well. I'm sharing now also. Okay, so I hope you all have the tute. Okay, I have shared. Balana. Oh, wait a minute. I have shared in the common group also. Ne? Yes. Okay, so I'm sharing the chat box also. Just try to download it. Fine. Okay, so there is nothing much to write. So you have to just go through the tute only, and then some diagrams to be drawn. Eka, you have to draw in the writing book. Eka chuttak karanna. Alright, so I have sent, Balan, I have said, I'll share to the group also. Hold on. Okay, so the still I didn't print the tute. Print the tute means it's in process because I need the proper count. So there are some kids after batch also, so I had to print one tute only. That's the main reason. Okay, fine. So unit number 2, guys, you can see the tute structure which I have given yours. This time from your batch onwards, tute structure is a bit changed. Okay, because I feel that in business studies, many students, the problem they come across is, sir, chapter name is okay, sir, but I don't know what is inside the chapter. Okay, sometimes I skip the chapter, sir, because I feel that usually you all it should say me. How do you say whether this chapter is difficult or easy? Based on what you will give a conclusion saying that, sir, this chapter is easy and difficult. Based on what? Definitely not by reading the content. Definitely you won't read the content. Even before reading the content, very good. By seeing a page number. Am I right? You see the page number, ne? Through page number, you see whether it is a easy chapter or difficult chapter. Okay, that's true. So in business, that's the biggest problem many has. So they say they go with the page number and say, so there's a lot of page number, so it will be difficult. Yes, it's depending on the page number. So to make it more easy, what I have done is all these chapters I have divided into some topics. So you no need to skip any parts. So some topics are very important. Some topics, some are not that much important. So it's not compulsory for you to go in the order of the subtopic. You can change the subtopics also. So when I was a student, what I used to do is I'll take a chapter, see the subtopics of that. Okay, whatever the subtopics which are easy and interesting, I study that first. So it will motivate me to complete the other subtopics. Okay, so maybe you can try that method also. Okay, so here you can see you need to CSR and ethics. Fine. What does CSR means? Anyone who knows the full term of CSR? Any smart fellows? We'll see whether you are intelligent or not. Any smart fellows? No. What does CSR means? Chennai Super Rings. No. What does CSR means? Anyone? Any ideas? Okay, I'll give you like 30 seconds. Just go for Google and type and send me the answer. What does CSR means? I thought my students, so they may be motivated to study first class. So they would be ready for everything. First question itself, don't know. Ah, good. Okay, so some people have copy pasted and the answer is bolded also. Okay, Sajindra, fine. So, okay, corporate social responsibility. That's what CSR means. Corporate social responsibility. Okay, so corporate kiyanne. Okay, corporate means another word you can give for corporate is business. Okay, sometimes for this chapter we also say business social responsibility, which means BSR also. Both are same. Okay, so corporate means business. So now connect the words. Business social responsibility. So as a business, what is our responsibility towards the society? That is what business social responsibility here. As a business, what we had to do towards the society. So many of y'all think society means people who are outside. No. Social කියන්නේ simply all stakeholders of a business. Stakeholders කියන්නේ the people who are interested in the business. So there are many people interested, but I'll go with four main parties only. So usually in social, okay, you take four main parties. The four parties are first one, owners. So as a business, what we had to do towards the owners. Then you have employees. Okay, then you have the society. Okay, then you have the customers. So business social responsibility, corporate social responsibility means as a business, what is your responsibility towards these four people? That's the simple logic of that particular word. Okay, so in this topic, that word is one subtopic only, but there are some other subtopics also. So I hope you got a small idea, because when you run a business, you can't run the business by just selling goods and services. No, you had to do something more than that, which is for the society, for the people, and all those stuff. Okay, fine. Now see, teacher's guide. So I have said your, okay, in business studies, teacher's guide is very, 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 very important, because all the definitions you study must be from the teacher's guide, and the answers you write must be from the teacher's guide. Even if there's a difference, they won't give you marks. Truly, because there are thousands of students who do business studies. They go near different lecturer in different schools. Your final examiner doesn't know under which lecture you studied. This definition is given by Hanam sir Kera. The examiner doesn't know. They know only one thing. The answers what the student is writing must be from the teacher's guide. Okay, so your answers, whatever you write, must be from the teacher's guide. So we have to see what are the subtopics in teacher's guide. So in teacher's guide, I have given three subtopics. One is BSR. The first subtopic you have is BSR. That's what I gave a small explanation here. Then you have ethics. Then you have sustainable development. So this is your teacher's guide subtopics. But you know, in classes, you don't study only what is given in the teacher's guide. You study more than that also. Not apart from teacher's guide, you study something more than that, because in your exam, they ask more than the teacher's guide, because teacher's guide, it's a guidance for the teachers. Okay, so if you study only the teacher's guide, you can get only like 50 marks again. The remaining 50, you need to study out of box. That's the reason you go classes and schools. Okay, so in up to, there are 5 subtopics. So you can see one is business environment, social responsibility, sustainable development, ethics, and you have intellectual property. So just put a circle for business environment and put a circle for intellectual property. Just put a circle for business environment and intellectual property. So that's something additional you're going to study in this chapter. Okay, Hari. We should buy the guide. No, it's not compulsory. Means if you can buy the guide, it's way better. Okay, but I'll share you the PDF of the teacher's guide, so you can have a printout of that, or you can use a soft copy. No issues with it. Okay, fine. Next one, weightage ke balana. So in your paper for part 1, they'll ask for 3 marks. For part 2, they're asking for 2 marks. Altogether 5 marks weightage. 5 marks is crucial. Okay, then notional session means, guys, usually for teachers, they give within how many sessions you have to complete this unit clearly. So the notional session is almost like 4 to 5. Okay, 4 to 5 sessions we had to take. Then difficulty, to be honest, this is one of the easy chapter also. Yeah, it's not that much complicated. There's no theories or practicals, concepts and all. Just direct notes. That's it. And also, if you say the nature of the lesson. So if you take any chapters in business studies, all the chapters are not the same structure. Okay, for example, if you say unit number 8, insurance, you have some calculations there. If you take unit like, for example, 4, business organization, it is completely notes. Just theory, you have to just memorize. You have to be a bookworm. Okay, but if you take unit number, we'll say 7, money and banking, no. You have to think practically, okay, reality concepts. So nature of the lessons is different. So if you take this chapter, some topics are general. Okay, so this is a small chapter, so sometimes they can ask beyond the syllabus, beyond the tute also, where you have to use your knowledge a bit. Okay, and also logical thinking. That's what I said. Not only from the tute, you have to think a bit of logically also. And important, a case study. Case study, you all know, right? So if you have done commerce or something, Okay, usually in your part 2, question number 1, okay, you have a scenario. Okay, based on that scenario, you have to answer. Who are the stakeholders of the business? What are the strength and weakness of the business? They ask some question, case studies. So that's a type of question they can ask from this lesson. Okay, FAQ. What does FAQ means? What does FAQ means? Anyone? FAQ කියන්නේ frequently asked questions. Okay, so if you go through the past papers, so which question is tested mostly is, you can say I have given 3 topics only, 3 main topics: BSR, sustainable, and ethics. Okay, so tested area I have given you the question number. MCQ mostly from question number 3 to 5. Fill in the blanks 31 to 32. Short answer 41 to 40. Part 2 question in question number 1 from Roman number 3 to 5 they can ask you, or question number 2 from 1 to 3 they can ask you. So that's the place where they can test this chapter. Okay, අපිට predict කරන්න පුළුවන් at which place which chapter can be tested in business studies. Okay, fine. Up to now, Terunada, did you get a small idea of this chapter? Yes, understood. Okay, good, fine. Now I'll give you 1 minute. Okay, so in the right side you can see a box. I have given you a phrase. Okay, so can you please read that a bit? Just 1 minute, take 1 minute, so that when you read that you can get an idea of what this chapter talks about. Okay, just try to have a read. I sent y'all the tour before 2 days and yesterday, I guess, and ask y'all to take a print of that and keep. You buggers didn't take, ne? Lazy buckets. Okay, so I have generated that statement, that phrase from Gemini. Gemini, you all know, right? What is Gemini means? Is he a philosopher? What is Gemini means? Okay, it's an AI, right? It's a chat bot. Okay, I hope you all know from Google. Okay, so from that one I have generated. Okay, so don't think sir is teaching from AI, dude. AI is there to make your stuff easy. If it is giving something beneficial, means use it. Okay, Harry. Now come for the chapter. So the first subtopic we are gonna learn is business environment. The first subtopic we are gonna learn is business environment. Okay. So, you know what is environment mean? Just simply define me what is environment means. Simply. I don't want big practical answers and all. Simply what is environment means. Yeah, and iPhone designs got leaked. So iPhone, that's the issue. When always they have these privacy issues. What to do? Environment means surrounding. Okay, it's your surrounding. Okay, so surrounding means that surrounding can be within you, close to you. It can be external, apart from you also. So does that surrounding environment influences you? What do you all say, yes or no? Does it create an influence to you? Yes, it creates an influence to you. What type of influence? Positive one or a negative one? Mostly it creates both. Perfect. Okay. So same is some parties or same is some people in the environment of yours. Same is some parties or people. Yeah, you have your parents, friends, neighbors, relatives, okay, blah, blah, blah. So if you take your parents and your siblings, and if you compare with your friends and relatives, there's a difference. What's the difference? If you take your parents and your siblings, and if you compare with relatives and neighbors, there is difference. What's the difference? Blood relation. No, nothing. Respect, no, spies, no. Okay, if you take your parents and siblings, they are internal. They are very much close to you. They are within your family, very good, inside the family. Internal, perfect. But if you take your friends and relatives, they are external. So what do you say? Are they generating a positive impact or a negative impact? So they are generating both positive as well as negative. Parents also can be positive impact and can be a negative impact. When they take out your phones and they say you are not getting social media, means it's a negative influence for you. Okay, if you take your friends, most of the friends are negative impact, but there can be positive impact friends also. So it can be both. Same concept only you apply for a business also. So if you take a business, yes, business is also acting in an environment. So in that environment, there are people, there are forces. Okay. And these people and forces can impact the business positively, or it can impact in a negative way also. So some forces are within the business, some forces are outside the business. See, okay. Now see the definition. Business environment means, first one, all parties and forces. Parties can be people. Okay, parties can call people. Okay, forces means not people. I'll explain later. Forces means it's like politics, rules and regulations, okay, economics, technology. So that also can influence a business. But those not people. Those forces scale PVC. We can't touch those. Then acting inside or outside the business, affecting positively or negatively, which can be controlled or not controlled. Some parties and forces you can control, some parties and forces you can't control. So, simple question. What do you all say? Internal or external? Which party or forces we can control? Internal or external? Which parties and forces we can control? Yes, internal apite control karna puluwan. That means your parents and your siblings, you can have a control of them. But external apite control karna bad. I think maybe if your sibling is disturbing you, you can control, you can have a control. Or you think your neighbor kid, okay, maybe doing something wrong, is doing a notorious stuff, you can't go and hit them. Their parents will come and hit you. So you can control them. Okay, so you can see some factors can, some factors. Okay, now guys, business environment taker. Okay, I have given you 4 bulletins. But always remember definitions, you can't write it in bulletins. So කොහොමද අපි definition එකක් ලියන්නේ? In the exam, if they ask you define business environment means, how you have to write a definition? ඒක කොහොමද ලියන්නේ? No, can't control siblings. Okay, අපි a sentence වගේ. Okay, we will write a sentence. හැබැයි මෙහෙම business studies එකේ definition එක memorize කරනකොට you have to memorize as point form, because that is easy to memorize. හැබැයි answer එකක් ලියනකොට you have to write as a sentence. Okay, so for definitions to memorize only I given as point form. හැබැයි in your exam and writing the answers you write as a sentence. Okay, fine. So is business environment clear for you all? ඒක පොඩි අදහසක් ආවද? Did you get a small understanding on business environment? Yes. Yes. Okay, good. Hi. Next one. For studying business environment. Why we have to study the business environment? Okay, why? Because we had to study the business environment because of 4 main reasons. Some people know that reason. Can anyone say me? We study the business environment for 4 main reasons. Some people know that one also. Or else, okay, you would have studied sometimes. Very good, Shahid. Very good, Aina. Just give a guess. Zumra, good. Sahitya, good. Aina, Safia, Shara, Zumra, Zuha, perfect. Swat, no, if you don't know, no issues. Okay. So here, guys, usually internal environment that means the parties or forces within your business. You all said they can generate you a positive impact or they can generate you a negative impact as well. So remember, if they are generating you a positive impact, okay, ඒකට අපි කියන්නේ strength කියලා. For that we say strength. However, the same internal environment, if they are creating a negative impact for you, ඒකට අපි කියන්නේ weakness කියලා. For that we say weakness. Okay, simple logic. ඊට පස්සේ in a business, if you find any strength, ඒක අප improve කරන්න ඕනේ. Okay, and your business, if you find any weakness, ඒක අපි eliminate කරන්න ඕනේ. We have to remove that. Okay, I'll take a practical example එකක්. Okay, think in your business there is an employee. My first question, An employee is someone who is within the business, outside the business. Say me. Within the business. Good. Okay. So we'll say your employees are part talented, very much knowledgeable. Are they generating a positive impact or a negative impact? They're generating a positive. Positive means strength or weakness. It's a strength for the business. So strength ang api monada karan no we have to improve it. Improve means what? You have to make sure that that employee is always with the company. You have to give him promotions, bonuses. You have to improve him further to be more successful. You can't leave that fellow employee. In your family, if you apply to your environment, also same. Okay, for example, think your parents, internal. We'll say your parents are very much supportive, positive impact, and it is a strength for you. So, if you feel that your parents are supportive, which is a strength for you, you have to improve it. Improve means what? You just make sure they always keep you supporting. So, to get that support, you have to do whatever they say to you. Okay, so strength here. Now we'll apply the weakness logic. Think the same employee. Okay, same, or we'll take the owners. So if you take owner of the business, owners are also within business, the internal. Suppose we'll say the owners are very much lazy. They are not taking proper decisions, or they're not giving sufficient money for the business. Take a negative impact for a business. You can't run a business like that with that type of owner. Take a weakness. We had to eliminate it. Or think you have an employee who is very lazy. He's not doing the task on time. So will you keep the employee? No. What you will do, you will remove the employee because he's a weakness to the business. So if you find any weakness, you have to remove it. So you are also the same. Okay, example thing in your family, maybe your financial situation is not that much good. Okay, so is it a positive or negative impact for you? Positive or negative impact for you? Think your financial condition, okay, it's not that much good. Positive or negative? Negative. You won't say, Machan, I am poor. Okay, so it's negative. So if it is negative, what you do, it's weakness for you. Okay, you won't be happy with that. It's a weakness for you. So what you do, you have to eliminate that. You will try your best to come out from that barrier. Why? You have to remove that poverty from your family. So that's the internal environment. Is that clear? Yes? Clear, ne? Good. Next, you have external environment. If you take external environment, external also can create you positives and negatives. If it creates you positives, what do we say for that? If your external environment is creating a positive, what do you say for that? Very good. For that, we say opportunities. Opportunities. Okay. And if the same external environment is creating a negative impact, means what do we say? Very good. Threats. For that, we say threats. So in a business, if you find any opportunities, see the tutor and see what you have to do. If you see any opportunities, what you do? Very good. You had to utilize it. Utilize here, you had to use it properly. If you feel that if there are any threat to the business, if you see, we had to face it. You had to face it. Okay. I'll take an example. In your business, okay, so while you're running your business, suddenly the government is charging you low taxes. First question, is government internal or external? Internal or external environment? It's an external environment. When government is charging you low taxes, is it a positive impact or a negative impact for you? Positive. So positive means strength or weakness. They are charging you low taxes. So if they are charging low taxes, yes, it's a positive impact. Is it a strength or weakness? Is it a strength or weakness? Strength or weakness, strength or weakness, it should be an internal. Government can extend. So it should be opportunity or threat. So positive means it's opportunity. Okay, it's an opportunity. Okay, first trap for the day successfully caught. Okay, so opportunities. So if there's an opportunity like that, you feel that government is charging you low taxes. That's a good chance. We will try our maximum to earn more and more profit. Why? Because government is charging only taxes. So from the profit you earn, maybe you can reinvest in the same business. You can grow your business. Why? Because you have to pay only a small percentage for the government. So මෙහෙම opportunity එකක් ආවොත් අපි ඒක use කරන්න ඕනේ. Okay, so for y'all also same, think you have friends, so friends are external. Okay, maybe your friends are very much talented, intelligent fellows, good friends we say. Okay, so it's a positive impact, opportunity ekak. So what can you do with those friends? Very talented, okay, intelligent, very good, disciplined. You had to use them. අපි යාළුවා use කරන්න ඕනේ. We also had to take the positives out of the opportunity එක. Okay, I hope no one has friends like that නේ. Do you have friends like එම කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවද? No. Okay, okay, හරි. Then so you use තමයි කරන්න ඕනේ. අපි යාළුව spoil කරන්නේ නැහැ. Okay, then you have external එකේ negative impact rate. Okay, we'll say same friends. Same friends. Think in the opposite way. If they are bad, what will happen? So එහෙම කෙනෙක් හිටියොත් you can't remove your friends also නේ. අපි බොක්කනේ. So whatever happens, you have to be with them only. What to do? It's your fate කියලා. You will try to face them only, or you will try to, I mean, educate them, but it's your fate. You have to face that face. What to do? Okay. So in a business, what happens is, think natural disaster. External environment. Can you control natural disaster? For example, there is a tsunami coming. කියලා සුපර්මෑන් කියලා අපිට control කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? අපිට control කරන්න බෑ. So is tsunami a natural disaster external? Is it a positive or negative? අයියෝ tsunami එනවා කියලා will you go and swim? No. So it's a what? Negative impact. So negative කියන්නේ it's a threat එකක්. So threat means what you had to do, you had to only face it. Okay, can you eliminate tsunami? So මෙහෙම water is coming like Avatar, you swipe the water away. මේ පැත්තට යන්න කියලා අපිට මොකුත් කරන්න, we are not superpower. Okay, so when tsunami is coming, the only thing is we have to face it. Face it means to run away. That's the only thing. So external අපිට control කරන්න බෑ. So when there is a threat, you can only face it. You can't remove it. Okay, so is that clear? Is that clear? Business environment. Okay, yes. Okay, so this is the purpose. This is the purpose of studying the business environment. Okay, this is the purpose of studying. So in simple terms, why we study the business environment is to see the strength, weakness, opportunities and threat. මේකට අපි කියන්නේ SWOT analysis කියලා. This is what we say, SWOT analysis. ඔයාලගේ exam එකේ they can give you a case study and they can ask you to find the SWOT of that business. Okay, good. Now, quickly take your writing book, quickly copy down this. Take your writing book and copy down this, and if anyone has doubts, you can ask me. So marks for the paper. Tonight they will release the marks. Coordinator said many of them have used the ChatGPT to answer exam. Is that true? ඒක ඇත්තද? Okay, just joking. හරි මේක ටක් ගාලා ලියන්න. Done means see me. Sir, were the papers marked and sent? No, not yet. Once the papers are marked, okay, so I'll just say the procedure. Once your unit papers are marked, the papers will be uploaded to a drive link and they will share the drive link. So you can go for the drive link and see your paper and download it and take. Okay. So which unit is the toughest? Toughest unit is unit number 7, unit number 11 in grade 12. Yeah, for after results batch also we will keep. But you can't escape from exams, huh? Right? Others? In part one, we have to think a lot. Yeah, because if not, you won't use your brain. That's the thing. Okay, Harry. That name. Good. Fine. Next one. So if you are done, please take a screenshot. Okay, take a screenshot. Harry, I'm going for the next part. Next part is in the tute also have given the same thing. Purpose of studying business environment. Now we had to draw a diagram. The business environment. We are the known. So maybe you also would have studied in business environment. We can divide into two: internal environment and external environment. Same is some examples which comes under internal environment. We'll see. We'll just test your memory power. This is your whole exam, not to chapter number one. Good, good, good. Okay, no need to count that here because you won't have much diagrams there. So maybe leave around 5 or 6 pages. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, smart answers. Okay, so internal eකට, as you all said, correct. Owners, managers, employee. Internal means people who are within the business. Okay, but in advanced level, we can advanced level ne ඉගෙන චුට්ටක් වැඩිම අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. Okay, so here the internal environment you can see is you have resources. We'll study each one. Huh? Resources. Then you have employees. So all are within the business, some inside the business. Then you have oh sorry, owners, managers, employees, organizational structure, and you have organizational culture. Okay. So study in this order because that's a small twist in the tape. Okay, there's an easy way to memorize that. Okay. R O M E O O. The acronym you can use to memorize this is Romeo. Okay, Romeo. Those are for internal environment. Harry. Now, if you take external environment, so if internal is Romeo, external will be what thing? If internal is Romeo, external will be Juliet. I am a okay. Harry. So if you take external like we divide into two. Okay, we divide into two as one we say as a closed environment, or you can say another word also, task environment, or you can say another word, immediate environment, or you can say another word, industry environment. Because guys, in your teacher's guide, you will study only one name. But exams, okay, they can use different names and test you. So close or task yanne, these parties, people are outside the business, but even the outside, they are very close to you. Think about your neighbors. They are not living in your home. Outside your home, very close, right? So you can take examples like customers. You have competitors, substitute providers, potential investors. Then you have suppliers. Then you have government. Okay, so they fall under closed task, immediate or industry environment. Okay. Now we'll take the other part. This other part maybe some of y'all would know. Okay, so ඒකට අපි කියන්නේ macro or we say another word, general environment කියලා. Macro or general environment. ඒකට I hope you all would know this. PEST NDGL. Any idea? I will study this PEST NDGL. Yes, or PESTL KL. No. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So that's the same thing repeated here also. So P stands for political. E stands for economical or economic. S stands for social and cultural. T stands for technological. N stands for natural. D stands for demographical. G stands for global. L stands for legal. Okay. So that's from macro, general environment. You can use the acronym PEST NDGL. PEST NDGL. Okay. So may balanna, if you take these examples, are these people or parties or organizations? Yes or no? No, right? Okay, if you take political, economic, social and all, they are not people, right? They are not organization. They are forces. ඒක අපිට touch කරන්න පුළුවන්? No. Can you see that? No. Can you feel that? No. So those forces කියලා අපි කියනවා. Okay? So this is the complete business environment, and there is one small thing you had to do. Final one. The bottom එකේ ඔයා අදින්න ඕනේ. If you combine internal environment with task environment, ඒ environment එකට අපි කියන්නේ micro environment කියලා. Micro environment. When internal and close is combined, ඒකට අපි කියන්නේ micro environment. Okay? මේක තේරුණාද? ආයිනා ඒල්ස් එකේ මේකත් add වෙයි. Understood නේ? Good. Okay. ටැග් ගාලා අඳින්න මේක. This one you can draw in the tutor. Page number 29 එකේ you can draw in that space I have given. Sir, can you show me the previous page? Aina. ටැග් ගාලා ගන්න එක. No, Zumra, sometimes business environment they teach in unit number 1 also. So I took it for unit number 2 because it's a separate unit ne, chapter එකක් නේ. Yeah, internal plus task is equal to micro environment is somewhere. Yes, Zumra. So do you conduct class in Fridays? Saturday is on Sundays. Done? No, not yet. Yo, like small fellows taking time. Now you're not small, you're done with over, so you're matured fellows, ne? You're your seniors now in schools. Others done? Okay, if you're done, I'll show you a smaller example. Okay, I'll show you a small example of uh, task environment where you can apply, sorry, this SWOT analysis where you can apply in a normal situation. Okay. So if you take McDonald's, I hope you all can see the presentation. So even you can apply the SWOT analysis to McDonald's. See, those one, I'll take one SWOT, take a strength, take a gun. Now we'll take innovative technologies. McDonald's use innovative technology. For example, have you seen McDonald's is the first organization to introduce an ice cream. Okay, so guys, usually early on ice creams can appear a scoop bikini we use. But McDonald's introduced an ice cream where you can keep in a machine. When you keep the corn in a machine, it will be like a tower. Have you seen? So that was a new technology they introduced. Okay, I remember when in Sri Lanka when they introduced that, it was 100 rupees. The corn is very small, but there's a lot of ice cream. Okay, so that's strength of that business. No taste, but what to do. Okay. Then next one, weakness එකක් බලන්න. Employee turnover. Employee turnover කියන්නේ employees leave the organization very quickly because McDonald's again they don't pay that much of salaries to people. So many employees leave. Whenever they join, within 1 month they leave. So it's something bad for the business, weakness. And if you take opportunity, example for an opportunity, we'll take focus on Asian market. So when McDonald's came to Asia, especially India, it was an utter failure. Why? McDonald's is from US, but when they entered India, it was an utter failure. Why? What could be the reason? Anyone? The reason was McDonald's, they sell these burgers and these meat stuffs, but Indian, they didn't have that type of culture because Indians, majority of them are vegetarians, right? So you know what McDonald's did? They changed their menu. Okay, so they started to produce these vegetable burgers. Okay, veg burgers, just to get the Indian market. And when they entered Sri Lanka also, they made a small change in the menu. You know what they introduced? Okay, more than these burgers and all, they prioritize this rice, biryani. Because they know Sri Lankans rice cow. True, for lunch, we need rice. We are rice cow. Yes, we say rice is our staple food here. Okay. So they made a change. But they are using the external environment properly. They are using because customers in Sri Lanka, India is external. So they used it in a proper manner. Okay. Now, if you take one example, we can take we'll take pandemic. Pandemic once during COVID, what happened? Every shops were closed. People can't come. So that's something a threat for the world. They can't do anything. They have to just face it. Okay. Not only for McDonald's, even you can apply this to an individual. I hope you know this individual, right? Who is this? Who is this? Okay. Okay. So it was our past president, right? It was Ranil Wickremesinghe. So if you take him, okay, so you can apply the SWOT for him also. Strength. What's his strength? He doesn't go for gym and all. It's not about the body. Strength is experience. He has so much of political experience. Weakness. What's the weakness? The bug is too old. One shot is enough for him to stay in hospital. Okay, then opportunity take a foreign contacts. Yes. So he's in politics for a long time. He has some foreign connections and all. So that's something external. And threat, if you take other opponents, so other political parties becomes his what? Opponent. Okay, so you can do SWOT for a person, even for a business also. Okay. And now, don't think why sir I took Ranil. Okay, is Ranil is your favorite killer? No, I just randomly took a person. Huh? Now, next one will go for internal environment forces. Make up a chutta create karabu. Okay, internal environment means all parties and forces acting inside the business, affecting positively or negatively. So, a blank you can write answers. If they're affecting positively, what do we say? If the internal environment is impacting positively, what do we say? Strength. Ne? Okay, so in that blank, liana strength කියලා. Our first blank liana strength කියලා. For the second blank, what you will write? If it is negative, means what do you say? Weakness. Good. Okay, so liana weakness. Weakness. And last point, you can understand strength and weakness or internal environment apita control karna which can be controlled. So I have given you the parties, okay, who are in internal environment. First one, owners. party who has invested money in the business. So underline the word invested money. That's a key word you have to write when defining owner. Okay, owner means the person has given money to start the business. Then managers, the party who takes decisions in a business. So underline takes decisions. Takes decisions. So usually managers, they take decisions. Okay, but if you take employees, they implement the decision. Think you are a supervisor, you are a manager. You will say today we have to produce 100 units, so that's the decision you have taken. But who is going to produce that employee? So employees implement the decision. So underline the word implements decisions. Underline implement decisions. Then resources, all the inputs used in the business. Underline the word inputs. Underline the word inputs. So only this one is connected with chapter number 1. So inputs කියන්නේ guys, when you start a business, you need inputs. Process කරලා output එක වෙන්න ඕනේ. So inputs එකේ, so there are many inputs we have learned. Okay, you go with land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Maybe these 4 you would have studied in your OS. But in advanced level, you have additional 3. What are the additional 3 we have? Very good. The additional 3 we have is time, information, and knowledge. Information and knowledge. Okay, so here for resources, you no need to take labor because employees is given labor kene workers. Entrepreneurship also no need because owners means entrepreneurship. So you can write land, capital. Land means natural resources. Capital means man-made resources. Time, information, and knowledge as inputs. Make chutta clear. Near to resources, maybe you can write examples කියලා. මේ එකම ලියන land, capital, time, information, and knowledge. Not these two because labor and entrepreneurship is already given. Okay, the other one chutta ලියන්න within bracket. bracket එකක් දාලා ලියන්න. Finance and all, finance also you can take under capital dear because that is money නේ, man-made thing එකක් නේ. That is also correct. You're saying this finance, HR, human resource, physical resources ඒකත් වෙලා කියන්නේ. So to where අර resources කියලා fourth bullet point තියෙනවානේ. ඊළඟ I have given you a small definition එකක් නේ, all the inputs used in the business. After that put a bracket and write these ones which have given us boxes. Okay, then fifth one, organizational culture. So organizational culture කියන්නේ the values, beliefs, and cultures in your business. So underline values, beliefs, and traditions. Values, beliefs, and traditions. Okay. For example, okay, true name guys, you have gone for many shops. Okay, you can see all the shops, they have different culture, right? Some businesses, they treat customers like king, but some business, they don't treat customers at all. Okay, so for example, when you go for a restaurant, okay, if it is star ratings, okay, so every hotel has star rating, 3-star, 5-star hotels and all. So when you go for different hotels, you can see the different type of customer service they provide, culture they follow. Okay, and a good example in Sri Lanka, if you take businesses which is done by Sinhalese people, Buddhist people. So usually they will close the shops on a special day in every month. What is that day? Sunday. Everyone closes the Poya day, right? Because it's a big religious day in their religion. Okay, so on that day their business is closed. Culture. That's a culture they follow. So if you take Muslim people, they close during Fridays, okay, because they believe that that's a but important day in their week. So different businesses follows different culture. So that's something within the business. And also think about, I'll take another example, airlines done. So in airlines, usually they use girls as air hostess. Am I right? You don't see male working there. Correct? Am I right? Yeah, okay, yes, mostly those are women. Okay, and also most of those women are very much beautiful. True, ne? they usually select this hair hostess based on the beauty only. Yes or no? Yes. That's culture. That's a culture of that business. Okay. Doesn't mean men are not beautiful. Okay. So I don't know why they are choosing women. Hurry. Next one. Um, organizational structure. So guys, near to organizational culture, you write a small example. Organizational culture, write a small example. Shops being closed on Poya days. Shops being closed on Poya days. Shops being closed on Poya days. Organizer culture, write an example. Shops being closed, no space. If you don't have space, dear, a tube take a chutta kind karla, table ek chutta diya ganna. Okay. Shops being closed during Poya days. Shops being closed during Poya days. Okay. Organizational structure. Okay. Organizational structure means in any business, there is structure. Structure means what? There should be someone at the top, in the bottom. Okay. Oyalage school like abigamu. Say it was say it was a joke. If not, that student will do that. Okay. So I was a joke up. I said you to write on the table. It was a joke up. One down. Can we do commerce and get into airlines? Don't say my name. I know yes. Okay. Fine. Then where did we stop? Structure. Okay, structure එකක් ගත්තා. Okay, think about your school. Or like a school structure එක මට කියන්න. Who is at the top level? Top එකේ කවුද ඉන්නේ? Okay. So top එකේ usually we have the board of directors. This is how our school structure goes. Then you have the principal. Okay, we say Pina කියලා අපි කියනවා. Okay, so after principal we have the deputy principal. Then we have around 4 vice principals. Okay. Then under one vice principal, we have around 3 sectional heads. For English, sorry, for juniors, seniors, and for advanced level. So under sectional head, we have class teachers. Under class teacher, you have subject teachers. Below subject teachers, you have prefix. Okay, after prefix, you have monitors. මේම තමයි structure එක කියන්නේ. That's an organized structure. How people are allocated. Okay, so underline the word allocation of authority. Allocation of authority. And write an example for that. Write an example for that. School hierarchy. School hierarchy. මේකට අපි කියන්නේ hierarchy කියලා. මේ ලියන school hierarchy. Hierarchy. That sounds like history words. True. Right? Is done? Done? Others? Are the done? Okay, now I have given you the factors and forces and how they can be a strength and how they can be a weakness. So strength. One thing, how owners can be a strength. Large number of owners. Is if your business has many owners, guys, it's good. Why? Many owners, more money comes in, more ideas comes in. Then highly knowledgeable and experienced owners. Okay, if your owners are experienced, think about Elon Musk. He's the richest person in the world, right? Okay, so last week only he was named the first person to reach $1 trillion worth. Okay, so why? His all business is successful because of his knowledge and experience he possesses. Then weakness. So how owners can be a weakness? Non-reputed. So for some business guys, there are some owners who are very much reputed. For example, think, okay, in these classes and all to do these AIL classes and to host this seminar, who is our main sponsor? Our main sponsor is the education minister. Means if I say like this, he'll be like, Arnab sir's class, okay, education minister is a partner. He's the one who is giving all the investments. Reputation means customers will believe this. But think if your owners are not reputed, okay, so if it is not, it's a weakness for the business. Then insufficient capital. So stingy people. That means owners, they don't give sufficient money to run the business. So they can be a weakness. Now comes a business point, smart technique. Weakness, I have given you 2. But I'm asking you to write 4. So 2 I have already given. If you're going to write another 2, there is a technique to write. So you know you think out of the box or not. Simply answer is there in the tune. Can you all say me how will you write? You have to be a bit smart here. Perfect, Shaheen. Weakness, I have given you 2 examples. I want another 2 examples. Okay, so if you're going to write these 2 examples, you don't need to type me and say, what are the 2 examples? How we are going to write? What's the technique we are going to use there? Very good. Okay, so balanna, simply the strength ekama api weakness කියලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. The strength, you can change it to weakness. How is that possible? කොහොමද? One strength I said, large number of owners. How it becomes a weakness? Few number of owners. Okay, knowledgeable owners, experienced owners, inexperienced owners. You have to be smart there. So A කියන මේ table එක you no need to memorize. Just memorizing 2 strength is enough. You can convert it to weakness and you can write. Okay, main table, it's not a direct answer. The examiners don't expect the same thing in the paper. We can write general answers also because these are not definitions. Next, managers, how they can be a strength? Trained managers, and if managers are taking correct decisions. How they can be a weakness? Lethargic. Lethargic in a lazy fellows. And backwardness means what? The managers are like introverts. They don't come in front and talk. Okay, so it's a weakness for the business. And if you take employees, good attitudes of employees. So when your employees have good attitude, discipline, coming on time, okay, respecting the customers, doing the work on proper time, obeying the rules and regulations. So that's good for the business. And motivated and efficient employees. Next one, how employees can be a weakness? Irresponsible. So not doing the work on time. And inexperienced employees. Okay. Then organizational culture. So if you take organizational culture, yes, can Zumra, okay? So organizational culture, so how it can be a strength for the business, well-built ethics and habits, true. In a business, if there is proper ethics can be good practices, good discipline means that's very good business. For example, think if our classes has proper discipline, that means when students come to the class, they join the class on time. Okay, so I'm saying physical classes. Okay, while they enter the class, they switch off the phone and keep inside the bag. So while the lecturer is teaching, they don't speak or they don't sleep. They always give their 100% concentration. Okay, when the class time is over, they go in a proper line. Okay, so that's proper culture, a good ethics which you follow in our class. So that is business. So they'll say, Hanam's students, what a perfect discipline fellows. So that's a big strength for our business. Okay, then positive evaluation system. Then how it can be a weakness is improper discipline procedure. So guys, yeah, maybe there can be some disciplinary issues in the class. So as a business owner, we had to take proper procedure. For example, we say in our class, so while I'm teaching, 2 students talking. Okay, 2 students are talking. So some schools they do, right? So if 2 students are talking of 2 or fighting each other, what usually teacher does? They'll send them out. Okay, but I have a wish. So if I feel that if I see if 2 students are talking or if they are fighting each other, so what I will ask them to do is maybe they have to stand on their chairs and one person has to slap another person. Who is hitting the hardest slap is the winner. I will punish that person. Okay, so that is there a good discipline procedure? Is it good for the business? It's weakness. Okay. Then you have too much of norms and ethics. Too much rules and regulations. Okay, business is following inch by inch rules. Okay, you have to come on proper time. Even if you get 30 minutes late, half day. Okay, you won't pay you the full salary. That's too much, right? You have to take the lunch only once the work is done. Until that, you can't. Okay, always, all the 5 days, you have to wear the work uniform and come. Okay, so if you do like that, the employees will be demotivated. They won't like to work, so it can be a bad name for the business. Okay, then structure. So up to this, is that clear? Up to this, is that clear? Make general concepts. Okay. ඊට පස්සේ organizational structure. Organized structure means how you have allocated people. So first one, they are saying proper division of work. That means when you allocate the task for the employees in the way. Okay, you know, okay, cleaning means they only do. Okay, washing is done by these people. Okay, maybe packing is done by these people. So when work is divided properly among the employee, that is good for business. Okay, and also proper allocation of authority. Then, for example, even if you take your school as a good example, I go with weakness. Inappropriate hierarchy. That means, think in your school, in your classroom, one of your friend is giving you a thundering slap. What you will do? Imagine. Thundering slap wake up. Your mouth is going to left and right. Okay. You slap back. Okay, no. Okay, we'll take the opposite. Okay, you are crying. So if you want to go and complain, to whom you complain first? To whom you complain first? Every action has an equal opposite reaction. Repeat to her. Okay. Class teacher. Yeah, but what you do is you are saying, no, I won't complain to class teacher. I know the principal. Principal is my father's best friend. Cool friend Kila. You directly go for principal's office and complain. Is that a proper allocation of work? Is there a proper authority there? So if there's any issues, you have to complain your teacher first. Your class teacher goes for the sectional head, but you're directly going for the principal office. So there is no proper structure there. So in some schools, okay, principal is there. After principal, the highest powerful people is your class teacher. Dude, you are the sectional head and the vice principal. No, sir, they are not there in the school. It's no proper. There are some schools like that. After principal, the next powerful people is the who are class teachers, and the next powerful people, not the prefects, parents. See, that's the hierarchy they have. Dude, what type of school is that? I'm just saying. So there's no proper authority, allocation of work, no proper hierarchy. So that's a weakness for the business. And also next one is poor communication. So poor communication means I don't know whether you have experience. You would have gone for these government offices and all. Especially when you have taken this ID card and all, you have to go for this Grama Sevaka. Just go, you have fun there. Okay. What you say, that bugger doesn't understand. What that bugger says, you don't understand. So many problem happens in these government places. Because you try to say something, that bugger will understand in a different way. Okay, especially they use Sinhala. Okay, you try to say in English or something, the bugger will go for different meaning. Okay, no proper communication. Okay, then, okay, electricity, but true. Next one, you have resources. Interesting fact. Okay, resources can have inputs of a business. Api gamu raw materials. Okay, so how inputs can be, resources can be a strength. Okay, have you tried cheese kottu? No. Yes. Have you consumed that kottu in a, I don't know whether you all know, if you are from Colombo, do you know Recon, Kiela? There's a place where they sell this cheese kottu. Hotel de Plaza. Okay, yeah. Yes, okay. So, to be honest, they are the pioneers of that. So, it's very taste. To be honest, guys, if you take kuttu from that place, okay, if you take the raw materials, so it's of high quality. Okay, it's very hygiene and clean. It's a strength for the business. Okay, what is quantitative and qualitative means? Quantitative means the raw materials you use should be in proper quantity, numbers. Qualitative means it should be in the proper quality. So if you take Recon, usually if you take this kottu, how they make is, okay, they have proper quantity. All these rotis they have measured properly. Okay, for example, in a shopping bag, they would weigh. For example, half kottu means a specific weight. Full means a specific weight. They have weight. Okay, so after they get the order, based on the order, they will take the relevant bag and they'll make it. So they are going with a proper quantity measurement. That's good for the business. Okay, but things other shops, maybe nearby shops of your home, when you go and ask for a kottu, when you ask full kottu, it will be half only. But if your father goes and take full, will be double full. There is no proper quantity there. Okay. And what is quality? Quality means what? The way they produce. So in Recon, and sometimes when they do, they wear these gloves. Okay, so they have the proper hygiene. But if you take other places, what they do? Example, when they make kuttu, more than the kuttu which is in that pan, there will be more kuttu outside the pan, in the cooker. So there is no quality there. Okay, sometimes you will see that when they feel that there is only low salt, salt එක ඕනේ. So if you take paratha, it can happen. Paratha එකේ බලන්න, when you eat, sometimes you'll have some extra salt. Have you felt that? No? Or extra saltiness, you didn't ask also. Sometimes you ask අපිට චුට්ටක් අර salt එක වැඩි කරලා දාන්න. But you didn't ask the roti have some extra salt. You don't know what. Okay, maybe it may be the sweat of the person who is making that. Okay, because they're not working in an air conditioned place. Okay, who knows? So, ek issue ekak. So, their raw materials they're not using properly. So, that's weakness for the business. The strength means you use in a proper way. Your resources are in proper quantity and quality. Okay, if it is not in the proper quantity and quality, it's weakness for the business. Okay, fine. So, weakness ekada balanna outdated. Outdated means you are using old resources. Okay, maybe they are making the kottu with the roti which was made before 5 days. Okay, and also damage. Maybe the roti which they are using, it is eaten by rats. Okay, so that roti only they are using in your kottu also. You also rat kila. So that's what damage. So these are the strength and weakness. Clear? Clear in other? Yes? Okay, got it. Good. So I'll just show you a picture. Okay, so just as a summary, a sum up ekak. So here, Elon Musk, I said an example for a perfect owner. So do you know this individual, the CEO of Google, is a good example for a manager. Because of his decisions only today, Google is in the first top position. Yeah, Sundar Pichai. He's an Indian, right? Good. Then if you take Zappos, Zappos, guys, it's a shoe company. So what's the specialty of this is a culture they follow. Balanna. So when you book a shoe, okay, when you order a shoes, usually guys, if there's any damage or something, you have to, return it within 7 days or 14 days. But in this company, you can return the product, okay, within 1 year. You can take even 1 year to return the product. So that much of customer policies they follow. Okay. So now I can read your mind, sir. Maharani sir. එහෙනම් මම shoe එකක් ගත්තා. I will use it for all the weddings and function. After 7 months, I will return the shoe and get the money. එහෙම හිතන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, they know there are some customers like that කියලා. So their shoe price are pretty high. So mostly rich people, high income people only buy. I also have one here, but what to do? Okay. Alright. So guys, those are the strength and weakness. තේරුණානේ? All clear of this internal environment? Clear, right? Yes. Good. Now, next one, external environment factors. Balamu. All parties and forces acting outside the business, affecting positively or negatively. So you know what do we say for positive? Opportunities. Negative එකට අපි කියන්නේ threats කියලා. ඒක ලියන්න. Opportunities and for the next one ලියන threats කියලා. And which can't be controlled. අපි ඒක control කරන්න බෑ. Okay. Then main components of external. So you know external environment we classify into two categories. Task environment and macro environment කියලා. Okay. So first we'll see what is task environment කියන්නේ. අපි බලමු what is task environment. So close or task environment means specific organization people. That's important. So why we say specific organization of people කියන්නේ guys? If you take customers, okay, people means human. Organization kiyanne, it's like a business, okay, where there are a group of people, they have a common goal, okay, there is a structure, a leader, a follower, ek organization kiyanne. So a task environment can be people or can be organization. So you are saying me which is people and organization in this example. Example, if you take customer. Customers kiyanne people organization. For that organization, there should be a name and all those stuff. People, right? Good. If you take competitors kiyanne, you are competing business. Another business who is selling the same product. Is people or organization? It's a business ekak, so it's organization. It's not one person. It's a big group of company ekak. And what about government then? Government? That is also organization. Okay. එහෙනම් understand කරන්න task environment එකේ you have people as well as you have organizations also. Okay, so continue. Affecting outside the business, and affecting positively or negatively. So positively means once again, learn opportunities and write threats. Okay, threats. Fourth bullet point is very important. So external environment can be controlled. External environment එක අපිට control කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? No, never. But close environment එකේ some factors you can control, some factors you can't. Example බලන්න. Can we control our suppliers? Suppliers කියන්නේ කවුද? Those are the people who are giving you raw materials to do the business. එයාලා අපිට control කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Yes. If you feel that this supply is not good, you can go for the supplier. එහෙනම් අපිට මේ supplier එක control කරන්න පුළුවන්. Can we control the customers? You are saying, sir, I want to join your class, sir. So can I control you? Yes, I can control. No, no, I can't take you. You have to just stay out here. You have to stay. Yes, I can control my customers. The government. Can I control the government? No. Okay, so you can see in closed environment, some factors can be controlled, some factors can't be controlled. So in that fourth bullet point, okay, you had to make a small change, okay, which can be controlled within bracket ලියන්න. Within bracket write an example. Become CM, sir. Within bracket ලියන්න, which can be controlled customers. 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 Close the bracket, continue the same line, Now write the sentence, or which cannot be controlled, or which cannot be controlled, or which cannot be controlled. ඒකට within bracket write an example, government කියලා. Within bracket ලියන්න government කියලා. So which can be controlled customers, which cannot be controlled government. Okay. Hari. Clear? Understood? Understood the logic and the magic? Yes? Yes. Okay, good. Now we'll see the forces of closed environment. Make it back interesting. Then, customers. Customers are who? Those who purchase the business products or to whom the business sells. So underline, purchase the business product. So you are my customers, ne? Underline, purchase the business products. Then competitors, I can leave. Okay, leave that part. I'll explain later. Suppliers, the party who supplies inputs to the business. Underline, supplies inputs. Inputs can be these raw materials. Okay. Then produce of substitute, also leave it. I'll explain later. Intermediaries. So intermediaries in a case, it's like this. Think you are buying a book. We'll say an Atlas writing book. So did you buy that Atlas CR book from the Atlas company? Did you buy from? No. Then from where you bought? Atlas company is the producer name. They are the manufacturer name. You are the customer. Then from where you bought? Very good. You bought from a stationery shop. So that stationery shop is a retailer. That bookshop is a retailer. That retailer would have purchased from a wholesaler. So you can understand sometimes manufacturer's product reaches the customers through someone who is in the middle. Think about the soap you are using. We'll say Lux. So you don't go and purchase from Unilever company. What you do, you purchase from a grocery store. That grocery uncle would have purchased from a wholesaler. That wholesaler would have purchased from this company, from the Unilever company. So for the manufacturer's product to reach you, to reach the customers, there are people in between. Intermediaries. Okay. So see, or if I want to say in your language, we say besties. Besties. I don't know what's the male version of that. What do you say for the male version of that? No. Male version makut nadda. Besties mean you're all right. If a girl and a boy is into a relationship, sometimes they don't communicate directly. Someone is in the middle. There is another girl in the middle. So that communication happens through that girl only. That girl only transfers all the messages. So that girl is an intermediary, someone in the middle. Don't trust that intermediary. Patta risk. Okay. So near to, so now read what is intermediaries. Parties who help in distribution channels. Underline, help in distribution channel. Bista, okay, Bista, whatever. Okay, underline distribution channel. Fine. Within bracket, Liana for intermediaries. within bracket liyanna for intermediaries. Write down retailers, okay, and wholesalers. And you can take another example also. Agent. අපිට bestie besta කවුරුත් නැහැ. හරි. අපිටත් intermediaries ඉන්නවා. For example, to reach you all, we have coordinators. They are my intermediaries. They are my agent. They only see how my students are progressing. So we don't have this bestie besta and all. Hurry. Then, potential businessman. Okay, potential businessman. Those who provide funds to the business in future. Potentially can guess future. So the people who's going to invest money in the future only we say potential businessman. The next one you have investors. So guys, A can underline karanna funds. Funds can money and underline the word future. And underline the word future. Next one, investors. Those who provide capital to the business and expect a return. So the difference between potential businessmen and investors are both of them are giving money. But potential businessmen will give in the future. Investors, they are given the money now. Okay, that's the main difference. So investors, okay, underline, provide capital. Provide capital. Provide capital. Guys, up to this, is it okay, clear? Forces of task environment, clear? Good. Fine. Now comes to the point of competitors and substitute providers. Okay. And also, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. If you feel shy to ask in the class, once the class is over, even you can ask, drop a message and ask. Okay. Potential businessman කියන්නේ okay, potential businessman කියන්නේ the people who's going to invest money in your business in the future. ඒක තමයි potential businessman කියන්නේ. Okay. Fine. Next one, you have a doubt. Okay, I skipped two main parties, which is competitors. Okay, competitors and someone called producers substitute. A dekama mama skip karane. Okay, so I am gonna go with an example for that. So you have producers of substitute. Okay, I'm gonna take an example. Okay, so you had to assume karana. Okay, you are running a tea business. Okay, can you all say me an example for tea business, a brand එකක්? Zimra. Yeah, external. Aina. Say me a tea brand which you all use or what's your favorite brand? Non-reputed Aina, if the owners doesn't have a big name, if they are not famous, customers don't know the business much. But if your owners are very famous, many contacts, many people know means the people will trust that business and buy the product. So if the business doesn't know who is the owner, okay, customers don't know who is the owner, so he's a very silent fellow means. So customers also won't trust that business. Okay. Waterwella. I'll go with Waterwella. We use Waterwella a lot, right? Am I right? That yellow color packet, correct? Okay, Waterwella, yes. So I'll go with Waterwella. I don't know whether my spellings are correct. Just bear with me. So we are selling Waterwella. Okay, Waterwella tea. Waterwella kahata. Hari. Now competitors kiyanne. Competitors means they sell the same product. What do they do? They sell the same product. And they fall under the same industry. They fall under the same industry. I'll explain what is the same product in same industry. Okay, if you take Waterwella, okay, Waterwella example එක ගත්තොත්, same is some other tea brands. That brand also must sell tea tamai. Example, yes, Anchor is selling tea for you. They also had to sell tea. Okay, yes. We can go with Laoji. Laoji. Then you can go with Zesta. Lipton. So you can see all these brands are selling what tea. Same product. Same. Tea. Black powder, tea. So all these three brands are also selling same product. Same product කියන්නේ no differences. Same product කියන්නේ no differences. Maybe taste එක පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, but the structure and everything is the same. Okay? And under which industry they fall? Industry කියන්නේ a group of similar business. Industry means what? A group of similar business. Cannot remember, I took an example, car industry. So if you take Benz, BMW, Audi, all of them sell cars, so they fall at car industry. iPhone, Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, since they sell phones, they fall under phone industry. So can I know what's the industry these businesses falls under? Very good. They fall under tea industry. All these business falls under tea industry. So remember, for whatever the tea, La OG, Zesta, Lipton are competitors. Why? Because they sell the same product. That means no differences. And they fall under same industry. Eka තේරුණාද? Competitors. Competitors clear the yes. Cool. Next we'll go potential or produce of substitutes. Example. So make it up similar products. This time not same industry. These are different industry. Different industry. And also they satisfy same need. Okay. What is substitutes? Have you heard this word in economics? No, not yet. Substitute. No? Yes. Substitute instead of having this, what's the other product? You can have simple. Okay, අපි කියනවනේ opportunity cost කියලා in economics we have studied. For example, 2 hours from 8 to 10 you are studying here. Instead of studying for this 2 hours, what are the other things you could have done? Yeah, alternatives. Yes. What are the other things you could have done? Slept or watched a movie or played a game. So, substitutes instead of studying, you could have done other stuffs. So, same like that. If you take tea, but whatever the tea, instead of tea, what are the other products you could have consumed? You could have consumed. Okay. Yeah, you can take coffee, soft drink, water, maybe malt, or maybe what are the energy drinks. So those are some other alternatives you can have consumed, right? So for example, if I take Milo, okay, Milo. So they fall under like energy boost. Okay, so it's an energy boost. So 8. Okay, so Milo. Then you have Nestor malt. Nestor malt. Then we'll take Nestor malt, Anchor. Anchor. So instead of tea, whatever you could have used these pens. Why? If you take Milo, Milo falls under which industry? Milo falls under like energy boost industry. Okay. And if we take Nestor malt falls under the malt industry. Malt here, there are different brands. And if you take Anchor, Anchor falls under which industry? Anchor, Rati, Diamond, they fall under which industry? They fall under milk powder industry. They fall under, we say, milk industry. So can you understand here? In this example, the products are not the same. Why? There are some differences. May products body differences. So if you compare tea and Milo, differences there. And yes, there are differences. Okay, and do they fall under the same industry or different industry? Nestor malt falls under malt industry. Okay, Anchor falls under milk, different industry. But even though they fall under a different industry, all of these are satisfying the same need. What's the need they are satisfying here? Maybe Anchor or Milo or Nestor malt or Nescafe, Viva. Okay, what's the need they're fulfilling? Very good. They are fulfilling the need beverage. They are fulfilling the need of what? Beverage here. Yeah, beverage. So for whatever la kahata, whatever la tea, these are competitors. Okay, they are also causing a negative for them. At the same time, these burgers are also causing negative for them. True, ne? Just think for whatever la kahata, if the price of Laoj increases, what happens? Laoj customers will come and buy your product. At the same time, okay, what happens if the anchor powder price increases? People will stop consuming tea. That means I'm saying milk tea, and they will just consume plain tea. Whatever demand will increase. So can you understand, for whatever, even tea business also can be an impact for you. Even other business also can be an impact. ඒක තමයි competitors producer of substitutes කියන්නේ. ඒක තේරුණාද? Clear. Okay, now I'll take another business. You all just see me. Okay, so you all just see me. Yeah. Okay, we'll take a toothpaste. Okay, same here, toothpaste brand. Suggest me a toothpaste. Okay, we'll go with Signal. Hari. Signal is our business. Huh? Okay, mata kiyanna Signal ekati competitors chutta kiyanna. Competitors means same product, same industry. Yeah, you can go with close up. Okay, Clogard yanna puluwan. Good. Okay, Ayush liver correct. Then Sensodyne. Perfect. Now, say me some example for producers of substitute. Very good. Mouthwash. Instead of Signal, a toothpaste, we can have mouthwash also. Then, no any other options. That's something for a small, like a stick wageka. We say miswak or something. Ne? Okay. Mouth spray. Okay, then. What are the other alternatives you can go with? Maybe your fingers you can use. They can't you use to brush? Can't. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, then maybe you can use I don't know whether you all know there's small powder also. You can use that powder also. Do you know that? Okay, we say patpodi කියලා, right? Okay, so you can use that also. So ඒක තමයි substitutes කියන්නේ. Instead of toothpaste, these are the other alternatives you can consider. Okay, but all are satisfying the same. What is that? Brushing your teeth. Good. Hari. Now, can you all quickly draw this a bit? ඒක චුට්ටක් අඳින්න ටක් ගාලා. Writing book එකේ. Yes, in your writing book. Done? Sir, this is a free class, but how can I watch the upcoming classes and the first class recording? Will it be available on the Faraday? No, you drop a message to my number or my coordinator's number. They'll add you to the group. So in that group, we'll be sharing the link. Okay. And this done? Yes. Okay, good. Next one. So now I hope you can understand the definition which is given in the tube. Now, Balanna, so how these forces can be opportunities and threats. First one, customers. When there's a large customer base, yes, it's good for you. It's a positive impact take up. Loyal customers, that means what? Your customers love your brand. Whatever you produce, they keep on purchasing. Think about iPhone. Whatever the shit iPhone sells, your customers keep on purchasing because they love that brand a lot. Then how customers can be a threat is negative reviews and feedback. If customers say negatives about your product to other customers, the customers won't buy your product. So it's something threat for you. Then low purchasing power. Okay, so if your customers are poor, okay, so you can't sell your product to that customers. Think about Starbucks. So in Sri Lanka, we don't have Starbucks. Why? Because the Starbucks coffee price are pretty high. A cup of coffee would be like 800 or 900. For that 800, 900 in Sri Lanka, you can, for a month, you can buy this coffee powder and run for a month. Okay, but here one cup of coffee is 800. So Sri Lanka doesn't have that much of money to purchase, to afford that much of product. So Starbucks failed or not, incomplete in Sri Lanka. Usually it's complete failure. They can't do that business. Okay. Then suppliers, how suppliers can be an opportunity? Flexible payment. That means what your suppliers are saying that here, me balana, you no need to pay the full amount now. Like 3 installments, okay, you can pay. Or maybe 1 year you don't need to pay credit, okay. After 1 year you pay kila. So when they are flexible with the payment, it's good for us. Okay. But bulk discounts, they are giving you more and more trade discounts. Okay. I'll ask you a question. Every year beginning, when you go for a new grade, you buy the stationaries and all, books, pens, and all the stuff. Usually, there's a specific place name where you buy this. Yeah, I know in bookshops, but what's the place name? Anyone? Anyone? So if you're in Colombo, you would know that place. It's in Fort only. In Colombo Fort, Petaki, the place is there. Usually, stationaries means we buy there, but a discount take it then. Don't you know that place? No. We say People's Park. Can remember? Can't? Okay, so that's the place where the stationaries are bought at a very cheap price. Okay, so bulk discounts there. And how suppliers can be a threat is delayed service. They're not supplying the products to you on the proper time. And also, there are only few suppliers. That is also a big threat for you. Usually, guys, main threat you face is when you're gonna say construct a building, you need cement. In Sri Lanka, there are only 2 brands which sell cements. One is Tokyo and INSI. So those are the 2 brands. So whatever the prices they charge, you had to buy. They are the only solution for you. So there are only few suppliers, so it's a big threat. But think there are many suppliers means if one supplier increases the price, don't worry, you can purchase supplier. Many suppliers are opportunity, few suppliers are threat. Okay. Then competitors. So how competitors can be an opportunity? Lack of competitors. Think for your business, there is no competition. There are only like 2 or 3. So it's good for you. Why? You can have a large amount of customers. You know, in Sri Lanka, there is a product. There is no competitors and all. There is only one business who is selling that product in Sri Lanka. What is that product? I hope I have said you all also once. Penguin is famous for toys, ne? What's that product? In Sri Lanka, there is a product. Only one company can sell that product. No competitors. All the customers purchase from that company only. Small hint. Not gas. Gas, you have both. Electro is also there. Labs is also there. Cigar. Okay, if you take cigarettes, so cigarettes is produced only by a company called Gold Leaf. They are the only people who sell cigarettes in Sri Lanka. So there's no competition. Okay, so it's a big opportunity for that business. Okay, then competitor bankrupt. So think maybe your competitor who is a big competition for you, they are bankrupting. Bankrupting means they become a failure. So their customers also will come and buy from you. So how competitors can be a threat is competitor expands, they're opening a new branch and low price of competitors. Okay, when your competitor selling the product at a very low price, think if LAOG is very low, customers will go and buy OG. So for your business, whatever, there won't be any customers. So it's a threat for you. Okay, then substitute providers, just now we learned substitute providers, strong intellectual property. What is intellectual property here, guys? Some brands, logos and all, for you, it's your business. So you won't let anyone to copy. If someone else is copying that, it's a big threat for you. This are copying here, customers will be what? Buying that product, thinking that's the original. So if the intellectual property are strong, intellectual property can government says no one can copy the logo, the name of another business. If someone is copying that, government will take strict actions. Hemal, if the law is strong, means your business is protected. But in Sri Lanka, can you see duplicates where the original brands are being copied? Yes. Okay. So a good example is Maybelline. Here, I hope you all can see. Adidas. You know what happens to Adidas? Ne? When it comes to Sri Lanka, the Adidas name is changed. Adidas becomes Abibas. Okay. Then if you take Jordan, so Jordan means he's a basketball player. So you know how the symbol of Jordan, right? Okay, that's also brand shoes. In Sri Lanka, that symbol is completely different. Okay, so they copy here. So if the brands are being copied, customers also think this is the original killer, they buy that. So then for Adidas and this Jordan, it's a big loss, it's a threat for them. But if the law is strong, it's opportunity. And also popular brands, yeah, popular brands means sometimes Adidas and all guys, customers can be easily deceived. Why? Because they don't read. Some people don't know to read. But if you take Nike, Eka, you can't be deceived because this symbol like a change karna bad. Okay, for example, you buy a shoe, in that shoe, the මෙහෙම තමයි design cross එකක්. Nike කියලා දෙ selling. Will you trust? You know Nike කියන්නේ cross මේ tick එකක් තියන්න ඕනේ. Okay, so if there are popular brands, okay, if there are famous brands, means customers know that. This is the original one clearly. Okay, then threats, uneducated customers. So if the customers are not at all educated, they don't know what is the original, what is the copy means. So as a business, it's a big threat for you. Why? Because copies are the things which people are buying, because the customers are not educated. In Sri Lanka, it's a big problem. They don't know what is the original one and the duplicates one. So original businesses are suffering a lot. Okay. Then you have high substitute providers. Okay. So when there are many substitutes, for example, think about tea. For tea, there are many substitutes in Sri Lanka. Coffee, okay, Nescafe, milk powder, Milo, malt. Yeah, there's a lot of substitutes. So tea prices, if it is there's a change, people will quickly go for other substitutes like milk or malt. Okay. Then investors, how they can be an opportunity, availability. There are many investors in the country. Yeah, that's good for the country. That's good for the business. Then engages in fair competition. So your investors are giving money for you, but they are giving you legal money, properly earned money. It's good. Okay. And how investors can be a threat is if they are investing in another business. They are investing in your business, they are investing in business. So it's a threat. And also they are demanding high returns. They are saying, okay, I'll give you 100 rupees, but I want 50 rupees profit. Too much, right? So that's threat for the business. Is it clear? Sometimes Abbas too. Clear. Yeah, Zumra, that is all somewhat okay what you're saying. Okay, good. Hari. Now, the last topic for today. F කියන්නේ favorable, UF කියන්නේ unfavorable. Okay, positive and negative. Company bankrupt කියන්නේ, think you have a big company. Think about Pepsi and Coke. Coke becomes bankrupt. What happens? The customers who buy Coke also will go and buy Pepsi now. There is no Coca-Cola now. So they will go and buy Pepsi. For Pepsi, it's a big success for them. Okay. Hari. Now, what is macro general environment? Once again, board of dimensional forces. You know, in macro, I wrote examples here. Political, economic, social, a lot of examples. Those are not people. Those are not organizations. So what are those? Board of dimensions of forces. So acting outside the business, affecting positively or negatively. So positively means you can write opportunity. Negatively means threats. Yes, Zumra, correct, good. Which can't be controlled. So me force එක අපිට control කරන්න බෑ. So one good example, one student said, you know what happened to McDonald's, right, in Sri Lanka? So McDonald's has been kicked out because McDonald's quality was low. So the complete McDonald's franchise business was closed. So you know McDonald's are the pioneers of burgers. They are the best example of the business which was top leaders in providing, selling burgers. But once they bankrupted, once it was closed, another business took the advantage of that. Do you know what's that business? No, any guesses? After McDonald's was closed, there was a big vacancy. Who is going to be the next burger producer in Sri Lanka? One business took that one as a good opportunity, but it was not that much successful. Who was that? not Domino's, not Burger King, not KFC. No, no, no. Okay, leave that aside. You know, buns, there are two types. One is we go with burger. There's another type of buns, or a long one. What is that? Submarine. So if I say submarine, what's the brand which comes to your mind? What's the brand which comes to your mind? Okay, Dynamo. Okay, so Dynamo, you can understand that's they produce a top quality submarines, right? So they understood we are selling submarine. It's also bun category. So there's a vacancy for burger scaler. They started to produce burgers. You know, recently Dynamo opened a new type of restaurants in the name called Dynamo Go Kila. Did I go through that? Dynamo Go. So in Dynamo Go, the main product they sell is burgers. So it was done to take use of the what? McDonald's burgers. Okay, so but it was not that much successful. Okay, fine. Then, so macro general guys, you can fill the blanks there. PEST, NDGL, all the forces. Political, economic, social, technological killer, write all the forces quickly. Done? Done? Yes. So reducing the mind map for unit 1. I sent me, didn't I say? Okay, you drop a message to the coordinator, emergency unit, so she will see. Okay. Now go for the next page. So I have given you political, economic, social, and all, and I have given you some sub factors also. So you no need to memorize all, just two or three is enough, but read it. Because in how they can ask you is in your exam, they can give a lot of sub factors and they can ask you which is political, economic, technological in this case. Ask okay, Hari. So political means guys, within political bracket right within small bracket. Okay, for political within bracket government. For political within bracket maybe here on the left side you can write government. So any activities of the government also can influence the business. So example I have given policies, stability, structures, parties, groups, and vision. So you know, if you get political parties, there are different political parties in Sri Lanka, like the UNP, SLPP. So different political parties, they approach it differently. So if you take the business which is done under this government, it's completely different. And the business which was done during the Gotabaya's government was completely different. Maitri is different. So different political parties, the way they treat the business is completely different. Okay, so it can impact the business also. Then for economic within bracket Liana, for economic within bracket Liana, money. Money. Any activities related with finance, money. Think inflation, interest, employment, taxes, savings, exchange rates, BOP, and investments. So think about interest. When bank is charging you low interest, so it's good for you. Why? You can get more and more bank loans and expand your business. But that low interest is also impacting your business. Okay. Then social or cultural. Social and cultural. Society කියලා. So religion, attitudes, customs, traditions. Okay. So if you take Sri Lanka, in Sri Lanka case, usually clothing business is a high success rate. Why? Because in Sri Lanka you have many festivals. So that's good for the business who are selling clothes. So you have different demands, different customers, okay, different time periods. Okay, then so you can see beliefs, values, customs, wishes, belief, religious beliefs, norms, attitudes, and culture. Then you have technological. Technological, you don't need an explanation. So you can understand technology also can influence your business. Today, AI is impacting the business a lot. Okay, robots are impacting the businesses a lot. Electronic vehicle is impacting the businesses a lot. Okay, so you can see technical invention, changes in technology, changes in communication technology, expiry of products, ICT, and digital payments. Then natural. For natural environment, within bracket liana nature. Nature. So nature also can impact your business. Think about weather. Okay, in Colombo, if you're selling products which has, like, for example, ice cream, so something, there's a high demand because it's about humid. Okay, humid area. So if you take Nuvarelia candy and all, maybe they are selling like these sweaters or these hot food items. So you can see based on weather and climate also, it can impact your business. Okay. So balana natural resource sector, natural resources, weather, climate, location of the land, disasters, and pollution. Then demographical. For demographical, right, within bracket explanation, people. So any activities connected to people also can impact. Think, for example, population growth. So example, in Sri Lanka, majority of the businesses are done where? Is done in Colombo, Western province. Why? Because there's a huge population. So population also can impact your business. Okay. You can say population, age, gender, uh, ethnicity, level of education, and all. Then you have global. Then you have global environment within bracket, right, for global, international. So you know what is happening all around the world is also can impact your business. Okay, because of that war which happened in this Middle East, it also impacted the petrol price in Sri Lanka. Because of that, these taxi prices increase. So Pick Me Uber, they increase the price. So banana business is also impacted because of something happening in international level. Okay. So global trade agreement, blocks, world organization, rules and regulations, brand, foreign investment, and competition. Then you have legal. Legal within bracket liana rules and regulations. So government rules and regulations also can impact your business. Okay. So Consumer Affairs Authority, labor rules, Sri Lankan Standard Act, and Constitution. Understood. Some factors with Raktama, you don't need to memorize everything. You understand. Demographical kiyana, people related. Legal kiyana, rules and regulations kiyana, you have to understand the concept. That's it. Clear? What about others? Clear? Just send me an emoji to see your reaction. Emoji එකක්. Aina competitor bankrupt කියන්නේ. Okay, competitors are bad for your business නේ, why? Because your customers, he is also taking your customers. So if that companies are bankrupt කියන්නේ, if the competitors becomes failure, if they are closing the business, what happens? Their customers will come to you now. So that's an opportunity for the business. Alright, good. Right. Next one, the last one, the table. So we'll write some opportunities and threat. With that, we'll end the class. So political, what are the opportunities you have is open economic policies. So open economic policies කියන්නේ, guys, government has two policies. Open කියන්නේ, country can do import and export without any barrier. What I say, is it good for a business or bad for a business? Good or bad for a business? They are saying businesses, you can do import and exports, anything you want. It's good for the business. Take opportunity. And another opportunity you have is political stability. What that means? What? There is a proper president, a prime minister, ministers, and all. There's a proper parliament structure. So now we have a political stability. But think about the last 2 to 3 years, we didn't have proper stability, right? Presidents were changed, prime minister was chased out. So we didn't have stability. But today we have a stability. So when there's political stability only, even foreigners will invest in the business. Our business can grow. We can plan properly. So those are opportunities. Then write some threats. Some threats chutta Liana. Write some threats. How political environment can be a threat killer. Liana, no proper political vision. No proper political vision. No proper political vision. No proper political vision. Okay, that means what? The political parties, the government doesn't have a vision. They don't know what they're going to do in the next year. They don't have a plan. So it's a weakness. That's a big threat for the business because you can't also plan anything. Okay. No proper political vision. Then write another threat. Then write another threat. Closed policy. Closed means what? You can't do any import and export, dude. Then if I can't do import and export means I can't purchase raw materials from foreign country. I can't sell my products to foreign country. I had to only do business in Sri Lanka. So that's something bad. Okay. So Liana, closed policy. Closed policies. Yeah, A11. A11, that is a good question. So large amount of import and export is also sometimes bad for the country. But businesses needs import and export because some raw materials we had to import only because it's not available in Sri Lanka. Even if it is available, it is pretty expensive. So we need to import. So in open policy, you have the freedom. Okay. Okay. A11 understood? What man? A11. Okay, Samsung, iPhone 11. So all these phone brands are here. Okay, fine. Then economic environment. So economic environment, again, one example is low interest rate. So as I said, when banks are charging low interest, you can borrow more loans and you can expand your business. Then you have a stable exchange rate. So you know, for $1, what's a rupee? So now there's a problem, but last 2 years our rupee was stable. Every time $1 was 300. When the exchange rates are stable, if you are doing imports and exports, foreign business, it's very good. Why? Exchange rates are stable, so you can plan how much of goods you can purchase. You can plan the futures also. But today, if you take the exchange rate is fluctuating, it increases, decreases. So now business are very much reluctant to buy and sell these foreign products. Why? Foreign dollars is changing a lot. Okay, so if it is not changing, stable means good. Changing means bad. Okay, so threat should talk clear, na? Threat. Write down. High taxes. It's Shavin. Okay. High taxes. High taxes. So when the government is charging high taxes, it's bad. Okay. Then write another threat take up. High inflation. High inflation. So inflation means price of goods and services is increasing. So as a business, you also have to increase your good price. So customers won't buy. Your demand will reduce. Sales will decrease. Profits also will decrease. Okay, so those are threats. High inflation and high tax rates. Next, social and cultural environment, how they can be an opportunity is festivals and occasion. Nowadays, social and culture is giving so much of positive because now there are new types of traditions and all. Earlier, if there is a clothing shop, okay, usually if there's a wedding, there is high demand for clothes only during wedding. Now we don't do only weddings. Apika na bride to be or a bachelor's party, okay, mehendi, something called haldi, okay, then you have sangeet night, okay, passe wedding, okay, after wedding also you will have another function hosted by the groom, okay, passe also they will have some other events organized by different people, okay, then you have gender reveal. Correct me? You have all this stuff, so much of events. And from where the hell they took all these events here? La? So some business it's good. Why? For every event they have to make a cake, blooming. For every event they need new dresses. Eka growth eka. So for now, some businesses it's a big opportunity. Okay, Harry. High inflation or high deflation? High inflation is much better dear than high deflation. Deflation is what the risk. Okay, then birthdays is correct. Okay, Harry. Then education awareness. So threat taker Liana, write examples for threat. Resistance to change. Resistance to change. Resistance to change, guys. Some people are very much reluctant to make a change. Okay, think about your parents. Sometimes you want to try something different. You want to purchase a new type of product. Yeah, but your parents don't let you. They always go with the culture, the traditions. So when they are changing to the culture, that modern trend means for some business it's negative because you are going with the new customer's trend, but some people are not changing at all. So we can't sell the product for them. Okay, then write another threat also. Too much traditions. Too much tradition. So you know, too much of anything is good for nothing. So if a country or someone is having too much of these customs and traditions, risk you can't do any types of new products or new services in Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka also there are some places where they are follow so much of restrictions, rules and regulations. So some businesses they can't operate. Why? Because of the too much of rules and regulations they have. Then technological environment. Balana technological environment එකේ new product innovation and automation of work. So there are some new product innovation. Think about AI. AI is making your business more easy. Okay, earlier you need a customer care to answer all the questions of the customers. Today you can have an AI chatbot. Everything is done. So for business, it's a big opportunity. Why? Because of new innovation. Innovation can new stuffs. Okay, threats, Liana, right? Threats, failures, and hacking risk. Failures and hacking risk. So today, yeah, technology is blooming. At the same time, negatives are also increasing a lot. Failures are there, hacking risk is there. Then write another one also, write another threat. Regular update. Regular update. That's also bad because you take a new technology, a new software for the company. Every time you keep on updating. So it's a big threat for the business. Okay, if you can't update means you can't run the business. Then natural environment. So you have too much of natural resources. Yes, that's good for a business. Okay, Sri Lanka is a gifted country. We have so much of nature. Okay, then favorable weather and climate. True, ne? Our country has different weather and climate. Depending on that, you can also sell different type of products. So now, Liana, how nature can be a threat for your business, right? Down natural disaster. Natural disaster. Natural disaster. So it can be a huge threat. Then write another one. Okay, yeah, true. Even though we have too much of resources, we don't use them. Okay. Then Liana, environmental pollution. Environmental pollution. Environmental pollution. So guys, up to now, is that clear? Yes. Okay, fine. Last three, yeah. With that, we are done. Demographical, that means people. When there is a large population, I said you can sell many products. You have many customers. That's good. And higher education. Your customers are partly educated. So they know what's the original product. And also you can also sell the product without any fear. Now, Liana, how demographic can be threat, Liana? Let's take a right example. COVID pandemic. COVID pandemic. Or you can just write pandemic. So diseases, it's straight. Why? Customers don't come out, they don't buy. Okay, maybe some customers are dead. Okay, pandemic. Then right, low population. The opposite of that, low population. Low population. Then global environment. So quality resources. That means from foreign you are getting quality input. So that is good for the business. And you're getting foreign investments and technologies coming in, new machines, and foreigners are investing. They are giving money to start the business in Sri Lanka. So those are opportunities, good for the business. Threats, Secretary Liana, right? Threats, high competition, high competition, high competition. Yes, if it is global, everyone can start a business anywhere, right? So foreigners also can start business in Sri Lanka. So there can be high competition for you. Then write another one. Tariffs. Tariffs. Tariffs can taxes. Okay. Sometimes when you do import and exports, government will charge you high amount of tariffs, taxes. So a negative effect for a business. Okay. Then the last one, legal. So if there are strong IP laws, as I said, if there are strong laws means business is protected, and also flexible and transparent legal structure. Transparent and clear. Okay, if you want to file a case against someone, there is proper route. So that is very much good for the business because they are very much clear what's the next step you have to do. So now write as threats, threat secretary, Anna. frequent changes. IP කියන්නේ intellectual property. That means if you make any new product or something, you can get ownership of that. ඒක තමයි intellectual property කියන්නේ. Like your logo, your designs and all, you can get ownership. No one can copy that. ඒක තමයි IP කියන්නේ. So write down frequent changes. So rules and regulations are always changing. So now in Sri Lanka, there's a problem. Okay, tax rates are always keep on changing. So that's bad for the business. Okay. Then write another one. Then write another one. Lack of transparency. Lack of transparency. Lack of transparency means rules and regulations are not clear. We don't know what to start, where to start, how to do this and all those things. එහෙනම් හරිද? ඕකේද? Yes. Clear. Yes. තේරුණානේ? So that's it for today then. Thank you for waiting till the end. So good night. God bless you all. Next week we'll do continue the sessions. Okay. So bye. Night. God bless you all. Good night. Night. Bye. Azim, drop a message to the coordinator dear. He will share you the details. I'll share the number. Yes, Aina. Flexible and transparent කියන clear rules. Okay. Okay. Bye. Bye. Good night. Welcome. Bye. Good night.